My name is John Mercer, and this is how the city died. Not all at once, but in pieces, like it was bleeding from invisible wounds. The outbreak began quietly. No sirens, no announcements, just rumors. At first, people found it absurd. A strange fever hitting neighborhoods, people collapsing in streets, waking up changed. The news called it neuropathic fever. We accepted it. We never suspected zombies. I was a data analyst for the city's emergency services. My job was to monitor health data clusters, spot anomalies, issue alerts. In early June, I noticed a pattern. Clusters of abnormal neurological cases in the old district, the part of the city with crumbling buildings and underground tunnels. The numbers were small, dismissed as lab errors, but I couldn't unsee them. One night I was working alone in the operations center. The screens flickered. The cluster map glowed red in one zone. Suddenly, a video feed came online, a security camera in a subway tunnel. The feed showed a man sprawled across the tracks, convulsing. Then his limbs twisted in ways no human limbs should, his eyes wild and empty. He stood up, slowly, and his mouth opened in a silent scream. The feed cut. I left the center and headed toward that district. In the streets I saw panic, people rushing away, sirens, scattered bodies. I rounded a corner and saw her, a woman crawling on her hands and knees, her eyes rolled back, her skin pale and ragged. Her lips moved, mouthing my name, John, John. She lunged at me. I ran. Over the next days, the outbreak spread. The infected moved in waves. First quiet, then frenzied. They weren't slow. Sometimes they ran. They whispered under their breath, words I couldn't understand. The city authorities declared martial law. The military blocked districts. But the virus moved underground too. I discovered an abandoned laboratory below the city. The kind of facility you only imagine in conspiracy theories. Inside were journals and recorded experiments. They tried to manipulate human brains using an old virus, something dormant, revived. The purpose, control. Then someone lost control. From the lab, I found tunnels leading to old subway shafts. In the depths, I encountered a group of survivors, 4 people. Amira, a medical student. Ravi, a former officer. Lucia, a journalist. And Eli, a biologist. They told me the same story. The infected weren't just mindless. They were being driven by something deeper, a signal, a command. We moved through darkness, trying to get to the central broadcast tower. We believed if we hijacked its signal, we could scramble whatever was forcing the infected. But every level we descended was worse. Groaning walls, moans echoing from the darkness, shadows flickering. One night as we traveled beneath the city, Amira collapsed. We found her body convulsing, twisting. Her eyes opened all white. She turned to us, and in a voice that was hers but twisted said, "He is the pulse beneath your veins." Then she attacked. We barely escaped. We thought we reached the broadcast hub. The place was deserted, dusty, wires cut, half-burned. I climbed up to the transmitter controls while Ravi watched the door. Just as I opened the main panel, Lucia screamed. In the hallway, infected poured in, dozens of them, silent but unstoppable. Ravi went down. I tried sending a scramble signal. Nothing. The infected swarmed. I closed the control room door, locked it, heart pounding. In the panic, I watched the infected gather outside the control room, forming a circle. They held hands, swaying. Their moans synchronized. The signal I tried to send backfired. Instead of scrambling, it amplified. The waves pulsed into the city like a beacon. Then I saw him. In the center of the circle, a tall figure in a dark coat, mask on. He stood perfectly still, controlling them. He removed his mask. It was Eli. He looked at me. His eyes were empty. But through the mask, I heard his voice in my head. "Thank you, John. You brought them back." He turned and walked away. The infected parted like water. I rushed after him through dark halls and stairways. When I burst into the tower's main lobby, I found Amira, Ravi, Lucia, all standing in a circle wearing matching masks, eyes blank, under his command. I realized then they were never victims. They were always part of this plan. Eli raised a hand. The lights went out. A low hum filled the room, the broadcast signal alive, and the infected in the streets above froze, their heads lifting toward the sky, as though listening to him. Then the twist. As the signal pulsed, their bodies disintegrated into ash, the infected, the survivors, the figure Eli, everything. The city trembled. In that moment I understood. The virus was never biological. It was signal-based. The broadcast converted people into conduits, not flesh zombies. When the dust settled, I was alone. The tower radiated a soft hum. I saw a final message on the screen. Transmission complete. Reboot will begin. My phone chimed. A new notification. Update available. Install to survive. I dropped it. The entire city outside was silent. No moans, no sirens. But I knew it had only stopped because the signal paused, because the apocalypse had only just begun.